Welcome to Tech Support with Tony. Hey everybody, team. Coming to you from the studios of Braeburn Salis Blue Link with some good information about a couple of our products actually. So today I'm going to be discussing our wireless thermostat kits. We have the model 7500 or the model 8500. Both of these models are wireless thermostats where you have the thermostat itself is wireless. It communicates wirelessly to this control module. The control module is the same for both products, 8500 and 7500. And what we're talking about applies to both of them. So what are we talking about? We are talking about the plenum sensor. The plenum sensor I get a lot of calls about, a lot of confusion, a lot of misunderstanding about what the plenum sensor is, what it's for, how it works. The plenum sensor is included in the kit. It's this little metal probe that you see right here on the cover of the box. Comes in the box. Here it is. It's got about 6 feet of wire on it. This plenum sensor gets connected to the control module. I got one set up here. I'm going to bring it in. This is our control module for this product. The part number here is 7325 control module. Like I said, this is the same for both models. You have all your connection ports here for your connection to your HVAC equipment, regular terminals, R, W, Y, G, everything's the same. The plenum sensor gets connected to the P1 and P2 terminals. Those are the third and the fourth terminals down from the top. What is it, you ask? Why do I need it? Where do I put it? So let me back this up just a little bit. The plenum sensor is meant to be installed in the return air plenum on a forced air system. What this does is it serves as a backup or a fail-safe in the event that the wireless thermostat loses communication with the control module. As long as the wireless thermostat is communicating to the control module, then this plenum sensor does nothing. It just sits there. Doesn't do anything at all. In the event that we lose communication with the thermostat, then our control module that's connected to the HVAC equipment doesn't have any input. It doesn't know what the room temperature is, what your set point is, what mode you're in. It's lost all that input from the thermostat because we've lost our wireless connection. Could be the batteries went dead in the thermostat. Could be some radio interference issue. Any number of things can cause a communication loss. I have another video that discusses communication loss issues and common causes, so if you want to check out that video for more discussion about communication loss. But here we're just talking about this sensor. So in the event that there is communication loss, then what happens is the control module will then take a reading from this sensor periodically. What will happen is it will bring the blower fan on, start pulling some air into the system, measure the temperature. If it finds that the temperature is below 62, then it'll run the heat for a while until we hit 62 degrees and then shut off. Or if it's above 85, it'll turn on the cooling and run it until we come down to 85. So the point of this is to prevent an overheated house because we lost communication with the thermostat, or probably more importantly is to keep a house from freezing up in the wintertime and potentially having frozen pipes and pipe break situations because we lost heat because the batteries went dead in your thermostat. At least we have a backup system to kind of provide a limp-along situation to maintain a certain amount of heat. So that's what this is for. It's not an antenna. It's not a temperature sensor that gets used on a regular basis. It's only there for backup, but you do have to install it. If you do not install it, then your thermostat is going to constantly give you an error message in the screen indicating that the plenum sensor is missing, plenum sensor loss issue. So you must connect it. The control board is looking for this input from this sensor. And what this is, it's a temperature sensor. It's a thermal resistor, or a thermistor, it's called. So the resistance value changes based on temperature. Nominally, this is a 10,000 ohm resistor or thermistor. So this control module is looking for something in the neighborhood of 10,000 ohms between the P1 and P2 terminals. But you'll say to me, hey, Tony, I've got a hydronic system here. I got a boiler system. I don't have any air plenums. So what do I do with this sensor? Well, here's the answer. You still have to connect it. If you don't, your thermostat's going to constantly tell you there's an error message. What you can do with it, you can take some zip ties and tie it to the side of the chassis, wherever this happens to be. Just loop it all together, get you a little zip tie, put it right there, or you can just let it dangle, whatever you want. Maybe screw it to the wall. That's up to you. However, keep in mind, if your control module is maybe located in a basement, boiler room, or some similar place like that, where your piping is and your zone valves that go circulating the water to keep the house warm. If we lose communication with the thermostat and it starts to default from the reading from the sensor, it's going to be reading the air temperature in the location where you have the control module, which may or may not be a good representative temperature of your control space, your house, your living room, upper floor, whatever. If that basement constantly stays warm enough because the boiler's down there and it is in excess of 62 degrees, then the heat is never going to be turned on during that communication loss period, and you could run the risk of having a much colder house upstairs because that air temperature is not being monitored anymore because we lost communication with the wireless thermostat. So that's what this is. It's your backup. It's your fail-safe. Forced air systems, this goes into the return plenum. You just simply drill a 1/4-inch hole in your plenum. You would insert it, use some sheet metal screws to attach it, and then it's going to be there for you at all times. With a hydronic system, hot water, radiator, underfloor heat, whatever you might have, of course you don't have any place to properly put this. So you have to use your best judgment and make your call for your installation of what's the best thing to do with this. You don't have to connect it. It will still work. The control module will still work. Thermostat will still work. It's just constantly going to give you your error message that the plenum sensor is not installed. Once again, we're looking for 10,000 ohms across these two terminals. So that's what it needs to understand that there is a sensor in place, and that will make your error message go away. If you have the error message and you didn't have it connected, once you connect it, it may take up to 10 minutes before the error message resolves on the display of the thermostat. It's not an immediate thing because it takes a while for it to circle through. But that's what this is. Again, I get a lot of calls about the plenum sensor. What do I do with it? Where does it go? That's the bottom line. It is a fail-safe mechanism that's built into this thermostat model, both of them. It's there for safety feature to ensure that we can keep a minimum heat or cooling as needed. As long as your batteries are good in your thermostat and you have no communication loss issues, then this doesn't do anything. Like I said, doesn't do a thing at all. But it still needs to be installed. So that's the straight dope on this. So make sure you install it, connect it to P1 and P2, and you'll be golden at that point. As always, you can call me on the hotline. That number will be in the description. You can find links to this product on our website. All the manuals are there. User manuals, installer manuals, wiring guides, everything is there. Thanks for using Braeburn.